Swayam MOOC course, NGOs and Sustainable Development. Unit 2, Module 16, NGOs and CSR. Learning objectives. By the end of this module, you will be able to learn the need for corporate and NGO collaboration, understand how multinational enterprises and NGOs can co-create and complement their strengths in the value chain. Now let us see CSR versus NGOs. Corporate social responsibility is corporate, and those corporate companies having in the preceding financial year a net worth greater than 500 crores or turnover greater than 1000 crores or a net profit greater than 5 crores, then the board of directors shall make sure that the company spends in every financial year a minimum of 2% of the average net profits made during the three immediately preceding financial years as their CSR policy. A non governmental organization, that is an NGO, is an organization that is generally formed independent from government. They are typically non profit entities, and many of them are active in humanitarianism or social service. They are preferably voluntary in nature. NGOs work to improve society and environment through providing education for children, empowering people, empowering women especially, planting trees, reducing hunger and poverty, and such activities. Corporates are banding together with NGOs so that they can provide better services to the society. Focus of corporates who are giving CSR fund is mainly profit. Only a portion of the profit is set aside as CSR. All corporates are registered bodies with many accountability clauses. Now, when we come to NGOs, the focus of NGO is mainly service. NGOs don't make money through their activities, and they depend on donation from various sources for doing the needed service. NGOs are also registered bodies and they also have accountability clauses. As corporate focus on profit, they cannot concentrate on service, and NGOs need funds and their focus is service. So, an ideal situation is there for collaboration. Corporates can spend their CSR funds through NGOs and do social service. So, in such a situation, co creation is the answer. Corporates and NGOs are two different types of organizations. They have different focus and different skill sets. Both have government mandates that needs to be complied with. Both have opposing but complementary needs. Under such situations, when they work together, synergy can be exercised. Both will stand to gain in this process. Corporates understand the role of NGO for creating a real change in the society, in the community. NGOs have to partner with corporates and the civil society for bringing in inclusive development. Companies can use their skills and business acumen to help their NGOs with whom they are partnering to create professionalism and transparency in the operations of the NGOs. Now, let us see the current situation in India. Government regulation mandates that 2% of their corporate spending has to be on CSR activities. NGOs have to learn to work with the corporate world for maximizing the social benefit. Corporate sector has no clue on how to spend the 2%, which is estimated to be around 8,000 crores to 20,000 crores, which needs to be spent on CSR activities as per the government mandate. So, it is a challenge for NGOs to absorb the CSR allocation, the CSR funding from the corporate sector and translate it to effective programs that could help the community, that could develop the community. So, NGOs should not be just implementing the CSR projects but should ensure that the community at large is enhanced, the welfare of the community is enhanced. So, they should strategically position their projects and programs for the upliftment of the community. Ever since 1990, CSR activities has become a common way by which corporates in India contribute to the country's inclusive development. Companies are actively involved in investing 2 to 5% in some cases of their net profit in CSR activities. Apart from the corporates, government is also ensuring the public sector also invests in CSR initiatives. In India, CSR has gone through many stages. Some business have demonstrated their ability to contribute to the society and improve the quality of life of the communities. Organizations set up their own foundations to channel the CSR funds to the community. However, in some instances, companies find it difficult to have their own foundation in which they try to channel it to NGOs, and through the NGOs, they try to give it to the society. So, partnership between corporations and NGOs and the government should be nurtured so that they all come together and they can contribute for the community development. CSR enables corporates for voluntary compliance with its social and environmental responsibilities. Now, let us take a few cases. When it comes to Tata, India's culture has CSR in its tradition. Even before CSR had become mandatory, the Tatas and Birlas have been contributing for the society in terms of education, in terms of health. The Tata Sons, which is a promoter of the Tata Group, has created numerous national institutions in science and technology, medical research, and social studies and performing arts. When it comes to Amul, Dr. Kurian, the leader of Amul Foundation, also carried out several philanthropic activities by working with dairy farmers at the grassroots level. Operation Flood has set ground for inclusive growth, improving people's lives, enhancing their income, and empowering women and reaping business benefits. So, several milk farmers came into the fold. Next, coming to Indian Oil. Since its founding in 1964, Indian Oil made CSR a pillar of success to significantly boost the community's quality of life while safeguarding the conservation balance and inheritance through a strong environmental conscience. Birla. G.D. Birla, the company founder, advocated trusteeship management as early as 1940s. This advocated that the money they created shall be used for the society. Although few corporates are directly contributing for the society's upliftment, few others are in the process of collaborating with NGOs. Corporates can use their business acumen to build the capacity among the NGOs so that they work with the NGOs by bringing in accountability, skillship, transparency in the NGO's operation. Now, let us see the emerging trends in the corporate business and NGOs partnership in India. 1. Growing business demand for community programs with NGOs. CSR initiatives in India are driven in part by CSR guidelines that either compel state owned companies or they put pressure on non state owned companies. Further, they are also driven depending on the company's moral principles. All are for upliftment of the society. Hence, many corporate houses have started several community development programs in collaboration with NGOs or through their own foundations in recent times. The second approach is innovative approaches from business, from government and NGOs is found to be on increase in recent years. A new paradigm of shared value, inclusive business, sees business opportunities in development challenges. Building on the work of C.K. Prahalat, the belief that money is at the bottom of the pyramid, the new phenomenon sees large Indian companies entering into the foray. They are taking up business that addresses the social issues such as low cost housing, healthcare, education, starting at the bottom of the pyramid. Examples of such companies which are looking at undeserved markets, developing appropriate products that caters to the lower level of the community, lower level of the pyramid, include the Tatas, the Nokia. Nokia has started coming with a very simple, low cost phones at around 1,000 rupees. Godrej, Tata Wind, MCX, ICICI Bank, Hindustan Lever, all of them develop products which is low cost so that it is available for the common man who is at the bottom of the pyramid. Some of the social enterprises include Life Spring Hospitals, Harva, and Selco. NGOs and government are adopting new innovative techniques in agriculture, green tech, skills, and technology. Pratham, Nandi Foundation, Business Community Foundation, Bhavishya Alliance are examples of such government and NGO collaboration. Further, Government of India has established the National Skills Development Corporation to find new and sustainable ways of developing skills among college students and young adults across India. Government is further inviting NGOs to collaborate with educational institutions and corporates so that the skills can be delivered down the pyramid. Some such projects include the Business Innovation Facility, the ITC Center for Excellence in Sustainable Development, WBCST, NASCOM Foundation, Accenture Development Partnership, the International Business Leader Forum, etc. The Government of India, through its ministries, Department of Science and Technology, Department of Biotechnology, has come out with several innovative projects so that the common man is roped in with the help of NGOs and industry partnerships. The third method is approach is corporate foundations are leading the strategic development. Corporate foundations are taking the cue from its philanthropic giving to convert the process into strategic development. Some corporates in this category include the ICICI Foundation, Bharati Foundation, the Paul Foundation. They aim for inclusive growth. Across the globe, the company foundation often acts as a way of outsourcing the social responsibility, removing the need to make corporate operations more responsible. In contrast, in India, foundations have a greater legitimacy given the size of the population, the social inequity, and the extent of work that needs to be done for bringing in inclusive growth, meaning every individual of the community has to be partaking in the development programs or projects that is initiated by the government of India. There are many examples in India wherein corporates clearly demonstrate their business from their community development projects. The foundation maximizes the community development impact for the company and strategically pools the resources, the expertise for the benefit of the corporate as well as for the foundation. Given the scale of India, India being the second largest populated country, the foundation come NGOs can make a great impact. Now let us see how the corporate and the NGOs collaborate. Multinational enterprises face a lot of challenges when they try to enter developing countries like India for the multinational to adapt their business to the local market, to understand the cultural and the economic, the geographical condition of the developing country into which they are moving. So, MNCs, multinational enterprises, can consider collaborating with NGOs to help facilitate new modes of value creation. NGOs are locally positioned, so they are aware of the customers, they are aware of the local market. And when multinational enterprises collaborate with the NGOs who are well aware of the local conditions, they are able to strategically position their products and reach out to the communities. So, in such cross sector partnerships, both members can contribute their complementary capabilities along the value chain so that they can develop products and services which neither of them can produce alone. Further, they are able to rightly position the product to reach the community. Because of the partnership, they are able to create value in different ways while minimizing the cost as well as the risks. The competencies and resources NGOs can bring to such partnership will include market expertise, legitimacy, with clients and customers access to the local expertise, sourcing and distribution systems. So these are the expertise which the MNEs can tap on the local NGOs. NGOs and the companies can contribute to complete the business model. They can co-create new and innovative multi-organizational business models. For this to take place, there is a need for four strategic imperatives as shown in the figure. As we see in the figure, on the left hand side, it is internal, where we have the resources and skills and the organizational culture. So this is internal to the organization. In our case, it is internal to the multinational enterprises. The external, if the MNE, for example, an organization in US wants to set business or start a business in a village in Tamil Nadu, then the NGO which is located in Tamil Nadu can handhold and both can collaborate. So the NGO becomes external to the organization. So the NGO is aware of the local conditions which is present on the right hand side in the figure, and they are also aware of the local infrastructure. So organization, the MNE and the NGOs can collaborate so that they are able to complement the strengths of each, and in the end the community is benefited because of the MNEs entering into the market. So the four strategic imperatives are innovative combination of the MNE and NGOs, resources and skills, the importance of trust building and of fit between the two organizations' goals. 3. Supporting the local infrastructure and the SMEs, small scale enterprises that is present in the local community. And the fourth is understanding the local business environment. So these are four important strategic imperatives which the NGOs and the MNEs have to consider when they collaborate. So innovative MNEs and NGOs partnership cases that has been successful are in May 2008, Microsoft Corporation came out with one laptop per child OLPC of Cambridge, and they announced that they made an agreement to develop a version of Microsoft Windows which is available at a very low cost so that every child has a laptop, and it was distributed to every child. So this is a non-profit which was carried out across the world with the help of NGOs. In India, Unilever has teamed up with an NGO to create Shakti, a rural network employing 31,000 women to sell products adapted to customers in around 100,000 rural villages. The third case is Electricity de France, which is known as EDF, is bringing electricity to the rural areas through its energy access program by creating partnership with a range of organizations such as World Bank, UN agencies, and other multilateral and bilateral donors such as well as NGOs. The objective is to create small, locally run companies to provide electricity so that everyone has access to electricity. Presently, it is estimated that around 2 billion people across the globe have no electricity, have no access to electricity. So that is the situation. Now coming to the funding. Despite the growth and popularity of CSR, yet the impact of the country's backward areas are yet to be seen. One reason being NGOs on one hand are facing financial challenges and they are not able to reach out to the corporates to showcase what they are doing. On the other hand, there are a number of NGOs doing extensive work in the society. NGOs can get funding by getting themselves empaneled with the National CSR Hub, which is available at the Tata Institute of Social Science. So that is one way. There are few other ways by which NGOs can get funds for their projects and programs from corporates. Some of them include: 1. CSR platforms like csr2life.com, working to create a channel and opportunity for the NGOs to approach the corporates directly. Further, they also assist NGOs in presenting their projects in a very professional manner to the corporates and also to present it very effectively. The second way by which you can get funding is the NGOs can submit the idea to the companies and request for a meeting. However, the limitation is you can approach only the companies in the local area in and around you. However, a strong relationship between the corporate and NGOs are found to be a key factor, because when the corporates know the NGOs, understand the NGOs and the personnel working in the NGOs, corporates come forward to give money. So, a strong relationship is a key factor for getting funds. The third is the local business and CSR fundraising events can also help to generate funds for the NGO. Now, let us see a few cases, some international and national case studies. When we take the IKEA case study, all of us know the IKEA brand, a very famous home brand. So, IKEA is a multinational furniture retailer having a reputation for low prices and very fresh, innovative design. IKEA is also keen to develop a reputation for environmental stewardship and sensitivity to social issues. They want their company to be known for these causes. IKEA group of companies has around 150 stores in 22 countries. In 2001, it had a turnover of 11.3 billion euros. It employs 70,000 people and purchases its raw materials from more than 50 countries, principally from China, Sweden, Poland, Germany, Italy. In September 2000, IKEA launched the IKEA Way. On purchasing home furnishing products, a three-page code of conduct for its 2000 suppliers, focusing on the working conditions and environmental impacts. In 1991, it collaborated with Greenpeace, a NGO, to find a way of printing its catalog on a chlorine free paper. Several years later, Greenpeace was enlisted again, was roped in again, this time to advise IKEA on how to phase out the PVC from its product range, polyvinyl chloride from its products. So one of IKEA's most weighty environmental issue is forestry, because they are basically furnitures and mostly furnitures are wood, and the wood comes from the forest. So how do I create an impact of timber extraction and ensure the forests are not destroyed? So at the end of 1990, pressure from Greenpeace and other environmental groups led IKEA to introduce a policy prohibiting the use of woods from intact natural forests, except those certified by the Forest Stewardship Council. This was formally launched during November 1999. IKEA is joining the movement of responsible corporate consumers concerned about ancient forests. At the beginning of 2000, the company had donated 2.5 million US dollars to help launch Global Forest Watch, a World Resource Institute project set up to gather information about the world's remaining intact natural forests. So, as IKEA disassociates itself from child labor and works actively against it. To this end, the retailers requires suppliers to keep them informed about where the production is taking place, including the activities of the subcontractors. They need to ensure along the value chain, the supply chain, they need to ensure that child labor is banned. IKEA is a typical case for CSR and NGO partnership, which started very subtly and it grew in strength to become a model for other organizations to follow. Now, let us take the Starbucks case study. Starbucks had worked with the NGO since 1996. Global Exchange, that is the NGO, focused on human rights and it criticized Starbucks for not buying fair trade coffee in 2000. NGO accused Starbucks that they made profit at the coffee farmers' expense by paying low price and not buying it at a fair trade coffee beans. Starbucks made an agreement to collaborate with Ford Foundation and Oxfam America to get rid of this criticism in 2002. Oxfam America, that is a member of the Oxfam International, is an NGO which is dedicated to fight poverty, hunger, and social injustice in the world. SEPCO CEPCO is the largest association of small scale coffee makers in Mexico. Its members are around 16,000 farmers and 44 cooperatives. The Ford Foundation is a private, non profit institution that provides loans and grants to organizations that support its goals around poverty, democratic values, injustice, human achievement, and international cooperation. So, Starbucks and the Ford Foundation provided the financial support, each committing around $125,000 per year for a 2-year pilot project totaling $500,000. This collaboration between Starbucks and Ford Foundation had four overreaching goals. 1. Increase the supply of high quality certified fair trade coffee for specialty coffee market in US, and it was achieved. Goal number 2, to improve the skills of the small scale coffee farmers by providing training and resources to implement and standardize the post harvest quality improvement. The goal number 3 for this collaboration was to provide information and support to enable farmers to earn premium prices by producing high quality coffee. And goal number 4 is to enable the farmers to disseminate the knowledge and experience, whatever they gained, to other coffee cooperators. So all these four goals have been successfully achieved by the foundation. This again is a typical example where collaboration between a corporate and an NGO had brought in rich dividends. NGOs need to improve their transparency to counter the negative stereotypes that is prevalent, and they need to professionalize the way they do their management process. Only then the funding will be easily available to the NGOs from the corporates, and the corporate NGO collaboration will be successful. So now let us see some questions and answers related to this module. What is CSR registration for an NGO? Any NGO, if it needs to receive CSR funding from corporate, they need to do a registration. So this registration is called as Form CSR 1, and it is a registration for NGO for getting the CSR funding by the implementing agency. Form CSR 1 is called the Form for Registration of Entities for Undertaking CSR Activities. A copy is presented here in the screen. So, this 3-page registration form has to be filled by the NGO if they intend to get corporate funding from the organizations. Question number 2. If I am an NGO, how do I approach an organization for CSR funding? First, what I need to do is map the existing companies in my geographical area. Start by understanding their profile, their preferences, and their policies. Try to find out whether they are already undertaking any CSR activities and fix a meeting with the CSR team in that organization. Question number 3. Why are NGOs vital to the success of corporate social responsibility activities? The corporates such as MNCs need NGOs support, and hence they need to collaborate with NGOs. As already stated, MNCs work for profit and NGOs work for service. So when these two come together, it is for the mutual benefit, since each is leveraging on the strength of the other. To summarize, in this module, we have learnt the need for corporate and NGO collaboration. We have understood how multinational enterprises and NGOs can collaborate to co-create and complement their strengths in their value chain. Thank you.